Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD. Welcome back to some more Dragalia content. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Dulcet Delights Summon Showcase, aka Valentines 2. This is the second Valentines that we've gotten in Dragalia Lost. This banner, I'm going to go over it, and basically whether I think you should summon or not. I do want to say before you summon that if you summon on the Monster Hunter banners, you probably don't have much Where Am I left over. And in that case, you probably want to skip this banner, save up for future banners, unless you really want to get one of these units on here. Again, these three units as well will be featured. I won't really discuss them today, but if you want any of them, you got to pull for them here. However, I wouldn't recommend summoning for Valentines Hildegard, Valentines Addis, or Valentines Orion, since none of them are really that useful. Again, Valentines Hildegard is power cut by a 4-star with Halloween Lowen, so again, I highly wouldn't recommend summoning for those. But let's talk about these three units today. First up, let's talk about Valentine's Melody. Actually, before I talk about it, I do want to mention also that they say Epimitheus and these three adventures will be featured in a future summon showcases, or may be featured in future summon showcases, which I don't really know what that means. Are they going to be added to the permanent pool? Which I assume they're not, because I think they would have straight up mentioned that they would be, like the summer showcase was. Or are they just going to make another Valentine's showcase in the future or something? I'm not really sure what exactly they're going to do with that, but I do just want to mention that fact that they will appear again. This is not going to be your last time to get them ever, so they will appear again. Anyways, this banner lasts until the 27th, but it does begin while the Monster Hunter banner is still up. So if you got some bad summons like I did, and you want to summon some more, you can get some Where Am I from the Valentine's event, which is actually right here. Again, starts on the same exact time on the 13th. This is a story event. You get lots of Where Am I from here. Again, just pretty much Where Am I collectibles and a nice story. And yeah, anyways, let's talk about Valentine's Melody now. So Valentine's Melody is a support unit. She is a Wind Axe, meaning her competition is really just Lin Yu. However, let's go over her kit, and after you go over her kit, you can actually see that she doesn't compete with Lin Yu. This is the first date of my life, and I'm not going to mess it up. Interesting. Who's she going on a date with? Hold on. Melody throws on her best outfit for her Valentine's date. Despite being accident-prone as ever, she's still an optimistic kind of gal. She baked a host of treats for you-know-who and filled them with love. But will her feelings be reciprocated? Now, I'm pretty sure her date is going to be with Yuden because, like, this Valentine's event was kind of, like, centered around, like, your POV is Yuden. You are Yuden. So that's probably who she's going on a date with. Also, she looks super cute, but she looks pretty much just like normal Melody, to be honest. But anyways, her first skill, now you'll see what I'm made of. Get it? Made. You'll see what I'm made of. I love this skill just because of the name. Now you'll see what I'm made of. Deals with damage to enemies directly ahead and creates a debuff zone that lasts for 10 seconds and reduces the defense of enemies inside it by 15%. That's, again, a very good skill 1. Now, this is basically Wedding Ellie's skill 2, but on her skill 1, which is pretty ridiculous. Now, assuming this is going to have a low SP cost, this is going to let her keep up at least a debuff zone of 15%, about 100% uptime, which is pretty ridiculous. If she can do that, she will probably replace at least one Wedding Ellie in the natural HMC composition, which consists of 1 Victor, 2 Wedding Ellies, and 1 Noelle. I think this Valentine's Melody can replace one of the Wedding Ellies, potentially 2, depending on how good she actually is, but at least 1. Next up, skill 2, a Splash of Affection, deals damage to enemies directly ahead and inflicts poison. Again, afflicting poison, nice utility there. Allows for Poison Punisher print in Expert. Again, Master, you're going to need the HMC print to survive anyways, so Master doesn't really help. But again, for Mercurial Gauntlet and for Expert HMC, that can actually work. Cool ability of crit damage plus 30% is, I want to say, a very strong cool ability, but it does add again to her utility. It's a better cool ability than the defense one or Wedding Ellie's sword cool ability, to be honest, because even with the defense cool ability, you would still need the HMC print to survive. I believe you would still need to survive, if I can remember off the top of my head correctly. You're still going to need the HMC print to survive. So, again, it's just added utility on her kit. And overall, again, I just think it helps her what she does and what she stands for as a buffing/debuffing unit. She's actually a debuffing unit. As a debuffing unit, this just helps more as a team buff. Next up, abilities. Poison equals team strength plus 10%. Again, she can poison herself. This is good. It is on her skill 2, which means you can probably get this off pretty often whenever you skill 2. Again, hopefully she can keep good poison uptime off her skill 2. If you can, that's going to be great. Something wrong with your extensions. Hello. Anyways, Bog Res is great for HMC and Poison Punisher, which is, again, good since she does have poison on her skill 2. I think Valentine's Melody has a lot of potential to be a really good DPS. If she has low mods and good modifiers on her skills, sorry, not low mods, low SP cost and good mods on her skills, she's going to be very strong as a unit. And she could actually replace, like I said, both of the Wedding Ellies if that is the case. And it's going to remain to be seen what her best dragon is, whether it's Freya to get her skill 1 off often, or whether it's going to be a DPS dragon like Vayu or Garland. Remains to be seen on that front, but she does look like she will replace at least one Wedding Ellie in HMC comps, and I'm excited to see how good she is going to be. She's definitely going to be the prize on this showcase, I would say. Next up, let's discuss Valentines Addis. Again, he's an attacking unit this time. The warrior from another land throws on his only nice outfit for a romantic rendezvous. He's working hard to share his feelings, but his green attempts at courtship lead to distress. Still, his awkward kindness drives some wild. That's like they're trying to sell him, I feel like. I'll face your feelings with my whole heart, he says. Anyways, I'm happy we get a husbando. A lot of people want a husbando for like the longest time. He is a shadow bow. I actually didn't recommend whether I would use Valentine's Melody or Lin Yu over them. I want to mention that they're not really comparable because they have different co-abilities plus different rules. So in that regards, I can't really compare them, but I would say Valentine's Melody is a better axe unit just in general. Anyways, Valentine's Addis. Shadow Bow means its competition is going to be Nefaria and Norwin. Now, how does he front on those two? Well, let's see. Skill 1, Course Judgment. Deals shadow damage to the target and nearby enemies and inflicts poison. The lower the user HP, the more damage the skill deals. Interesting. Skill 2, Love's Triumph. The user is less than... Okay, I'm not even going to read this. Basically... grant a shield if you're less than 30. If you're above 30, it's going to take you down to 20. So, yeah. It's a good skill. It's pretty much... His kit is pretty much Natalie, but for bow. That's pretty much what he is. Like, if you look at it, he's Natalie, but for bow. Now, if this skill 1 has a low SP cost and good mods, like I'm assuming 2,000% or higher, he's going to be absolutely ridiculous. To be honest, even 1,500% or higher will make him really, really strong. Because you can get this off higher, or not higher. If you can get this off very often with a good mod, that's going to be really, really good for him. Also, I want to mention, I don't think this gives a strength buff. It's just a shield. Yeah, it's just a shield, not a strength buff. I don't know if I said strength buff earlier. I just want to mention it's only a shield. Anyway, skill 1, like I said, inflicts poison as well, which could be really good. If it has higher mods, though, that's the main thing. It needs good mods, low SP cost, and he could be very, very strong. It says the lower the user HP, the more damage this skill does, which is, again, like Natalie's skill 1. So he could have damage comparable to Natalie's skill 1. Again, we'll have to see, but he is a bow, so I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes, to be honest. Once he's out, we can make a fine judgment. Co-abilities, normal. Abilities, Poison Punisher. By 30%, which is good. Perez, good for High Jupiter. And HP below 30% equals strength and attack rate 3. Again, just like Natalie, which he gets us off with his skill 2, which goes perfectly. You know, his kit, he can do this all by himself. Increases strength and his attack rate, which is, again, very, very strong with this skill 1 that also deals more damage at low HP. His kit flows nicely together. However, he will not be good for Mercure Gauntlet, but he could potentially be very good for High Jupiter. He might replace a single Gleo in the normal 3 Gleo and 1 Delphi comp or 4 Gleo comp, depends on what you're doing. He could replace one of the Gleos in there. He could actually be slotted into a poison team. However, Delphi would do better for that if you wanted just someone who could poison. So Delphi would probably do better on that front. But he has a lot of utility with this poison and with his skills. But again, remains to be seen how well he's going to be in actual practice. Because again, Natalie looks great on paper, but in practice, she's just not as amazing as she looks to be. However, again, she is still really good. But again, for Mercure Gauntlet over level 50, you take damage, and it's not really good for that. But in actual High Jupiter, I think he has a lot of potential, and that's kind of where I draw the line with Valentines Addis. I don't think he's going to be anything amazingly game-breaking. He does have potential to be in it. If this skill 1 is ridiculous, he could be. But I don't really see him being crazy good. Because again, he inflicts poison, which means the mod is probably going to be a little lower than average. So that's my thoughts on Valentines Addis. I don't really think he's going to be worth pulling for. I don't know if he's even going to fit into the meta at all for High Jupiter. So I would recommend you don't pull for Valentines Addis. However, Valentine's Melody does have a spot potentially in HMC. Next up, we'll talk about Epimitheus. He has a very weird name to pronounce. But let's go over him really quickly. Look at me, acknowledge me, love me. What? Look at me, acknowledge me, love me. That just sounds very weird. Anyways, a lonely dragon that awakened to the power of darkness. His 3 older brothers showed him no affection, leaving him starved for love. This yearning grew twisted, reducing him to a being of calamity that his siblings had sought to prevent. So that sounds terrifying, but his brothers, obviously, it's going to be Prometheus, probably going to be one of them. And his name is Epimitheus, so it's probably Prometheus, and then 2 other dragons which we haven't gotten yet. But let's see how good he actually is. His skill deals shadow damage and inflicts poison, which is pretty solid. And his ability, shadow strength plus 50%, and poison punisher plus 20%. Now, right off the bat, you're going to say, why would I use this guy over Fatalis, which gives 80% total, and that's because this shadow stack is not just 50 plus 20 to be 70. It's actually like 1.5 times 1.2, which gives you 1.8. So he's pretty much on par with Fatalis if the enemy is poisoned. Again, if you can keep a high poison uptime, which is entirely possible to do in like a Jupiter fight, which is very short, he could be very, very strong, potentially better than Fatalis. We need to see when he's actually out. Again, I just keep on saying this. We can make the final judgments once these units are actually out. But overall, I would not recommend you use him over Fatalis or Shinobi, because again, you'd have to first of all pull for him and then mob him, etc. Again, I highly recommend just using Fatalis or Shinobi over him unless you need to drag him. Then Fatalis probably wouldn't be good, but I would just recommend those two over him. But again, he does have potential to be best in slot on some units like Delphi, maybe Cassandra, maybe Lathna, Karen, etc. He does have potential on those units, but again, I would just recommend Shinobi or Fatalis over him, to be completely honest. He's more of like a side grade in the Fatalis triangle, more like the Fatalis and Epimitheus line. It's not a triangle, it's a line. But yeah, that's kind of where I slot him at. Again, I don't think he's worth pulling for at all. Shinobi's probably going to be better. And yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts on this banner. I do think Valentines Addis will be better than Nefaria and Norwin, but I don't think he's going to be better than Glaeo, obviously. I think he's kind of going to be around the same spot that Natalie's at. And I do think Valentine's Melody, however, has a lot of potential to be in the best units or in the best team for HMC. So she has a lot of potential. And that's my final thoughts on this banner. Again, let me know what you think on this banner in the comment section down below. Are you going to pull or are you not going to pull? Do you even have enough Wormites to pull? I know I don't. Ha ha ha. So funny. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Until next time, have a nice trip.